In the modern world of football, where transfers happen at lightning speed and loyalty seems increasingly rare, there remain players who transcend those boundaries, players whose names are eternally etched in the memories of fans. Kevin De Bruyne is one of them. And on this unforgettable evening at the Etihad Stadium, in front of 53,000 spectators, the football world witnessed one of its most emotional chapters, the day the Belgian maestro returned to his old home, no longer wearing the Manchester City shirt, but as a rival in the colours of Napoli. From the very first moment he stepped out of the tunnel, Kevin De Bruyne knew this was no ordinary match. The Etihad was glowing, not just from the floodlights but from the love radiating through the stands. Thousands of tifos and banners were raised high, painted with words like King Kevin, a royal tribute to the man who defined an era. The chants of Kevin, Kevin echoed around the stadium, not as a gesture of opposition, but as a declaration of eternal gratitude. For City fans, this wasn't simply about welcoming back an old player. This was about honoring their conductor, their heartbeat, the man who orchestrated their golden decade. For De Bruyne, every blade of grass on that pitch carried memories, stunning long-range goals, jaw-dropping assists, decisive Champions League nights, and domestic dominance that lifted Manchester City to the pinnacle of English and European football. De Bruyne is known for his composure, his focus, and his dedication to professionalism. But even he could not hold back the tide of emotions as he returned home. The tears welled in his eyes, hidden behind a steely expression. For him, it was a delicate balance, honoring the moment while still fulfilling his duty as a Napoli player. Yet fate seemed cruel. In the 26th minute, Napoli were reduced to 10 men following Giovanni Di Lorenzo's red card, forcing manager Antonio Conte into an early substitution. De Bruyne's number was held aloft, and the maestro walked off the Etihad turf far earlier than anyone had hoped. And then, something extraordinary happened. The entire stadium, 53,000 fans, rose to their feet. They clapped, cheered, and roared his name in unison. Rarely in football does an opposing player receive such a send-off. But Kevin was no ordinary opponent, he was Manchester City's eternal son, and this was their way of saying, "You will never be forgotten." After the final whistle, the emotions only deepened. Former teammates sought him out, not as a rival, but as a brother. Erling Haaland clung tightly to De Bruyne, whispering heartfelt words, reluctant to let go. Ruben Dias draped an arm around the Belgian, guiding him around the pitch as he rallied the fans to once again chant "Legend." For those who had fought alongside him in countless battles, this was no longer about the scoreboard. It was about respect, about family, about bonds forged in sweat and triumph. Even Antonio Conte, Napoli's demanding coach, admitted his regret. After the match, he offered a public apology. "I am very sorry and I must apologize to Kevin. This was his night, his chance to play at the stadium he once called home. But circumstances forced me to make that decision. He deserved more, and I regret that I had to take it away from him." These words only magnified the poignancy of the night. What could have been a frustrating, incomplete return became instead a symbol of something far greater: love, loyalty, and immortality. Kevin De Bruyne may now wear Napoli's sky blue, but in Manchester, he will forever be a citizen. His decade-long service to the club is etched in history. 6 Premier League titles. 1 Champions League. 5 League Cups. 2 FA Cups. Numbers alone cannot capture his impact. With more than 150 assists in English football, countless decisive goals, and a style that redefined playmaking, De Bruyne is not just a Manchester City legend, he is one of the greatest midfielders in Premier League history. He was Pep Guardiola's general on the field, the brain that turned philosophy into victory. Every pass, every shot, every sprint was part of a larger symphony. And in that orchestra, De Bruyne was always the conductor. Napoli lost the match 0-2. On paper, it was a disappointing start to their Champions League campaign. But for Kevin, the scoreline barely mattered. The real victory was written not in goals or assists, but in the hearts of 53,000 fans who stood as one to celebrate him. This was not a night of football, it was a night of remembrance, gratitude, and love. A reminder that while clubs may change, and jerseys may be swapped, the bond between a player and his fans is eternal. Manchester City will always be home, De Bruyne once said. That statement was carved in stone tonight. He may continue his journey with Napoli, chasing new challenges, but in the passport of his life, the chapter marked Manchester City will forever shine as its brightest. Not every return is defined by goals, assists, or victories. Sometimes, the greatest triumph is emotional. Kevin De Bruyne's return to the Etihad was bittersweet, cut short on the pitch, but immortalized in the stands. As the chants of King Kevin rang out in the Manchester night, it was clear, he is more than a footballer. He is a legend, a symbol, a memory etched forever in the blue heart of Manchester. Football is often measured in trophies and statistics. But on this night, at the Etihad, it was measured in applause, in tears, and in love. And for Kevin De Bruyne, that was the greatest victory of all.